So, welcome everyone to the talk of Melania Kovalenka. My name is Natalia Volchigova. I'm your host for today, and it is my pleasure to give you a few notes about today's conversation. First of all, thank you very much for staying muted. We will have question and answer time at the end of Melania's presentation. Overall, our event is going to be around an hour, and the last 15 minutes will be dedicated to questions and answers. So please feel free to send your questions in the chat. Either Melania or myself will pick them up. And I hope you enjoy our events today. A few notes about myself. I am the admissions manager at Cardiff Sixth Form College and have been supporting students for more than 3 years with basically building their career and building their dream of entering UK's top universities. And today I would like to give you a few examples of how our students actually follow the path that Melania has followed. So before Melania starts, I'm going to take you through a couple of points on how actually UK education works and how students get to these universities. So Cardiff Sixth Form College is a famous school that Melania has attended from the age of 16. And for the last 11 years, we actually have been #1 school in the UK. Now, this already is an achievement for Melania to have joined us, but this is one of the very small steps on her path, and there will be many more exciting success examples that Melania will share with us. Now, for the last 11 years, our students have been receiving the top grades, enabling them to get to UK's best universities. There are a variety of different league tables, and obviously in this world, when we talk about top universities and top schools, it is the results that actually matters. Now, Cardiff Sixth Form College results for the last 5 years have been absolutely unbeatable. Around 91% of our students are getting between A star in A. And just to give you a bit of context and what Melania is going to talk about, British education system is all about A levels. And actually, London School of Economics, similarly to many different universities in the UK, will ask you specifically for your A-level results, which are basically the final results from a British school, usually done by students from the age of 16 to 18. And in the last year, apart from London School of Economics, which we have 26 students, our students also went to UCL, which is another famous top university, not only in the UK, but in the world, as well as Imperial College London, and most importantly, Oxbridge. So every year we have around 12% of our students who actually gain places at Oxford or Cambridge University, which is called Oxbridge together. And it is our absolute passion to support students with achieving their dreams. Melania is going to talk about business and economics, as this is her path and this is the direction she has chosen to follow. However, we actually support students with a variety of careers, including medicine, natural sciences, engineering, architecture, law. So whatever your dream is, or whatever the dream of your child is, a similar kind of strategy that Melania is going to talk about can be applied if you're following one of these professions, and not only. In fact, we also have artists and actors and lawyers who are studying within Cardiff Sixth Form College and the Duke's Education Group. And I will be able to talk about this a little bit more after Melania's presentation, how we can help these students with building their own strategy. So in terms of subjects, as I mentioned, Melania is talking about the economics. And I think the final note before I pass on the word to Melania is the philosophy that we follow at Cardiff Sixth Form College. The most important aspect and this kind of reason for success that we developed uniquely for the school is the combination of the Western and Eastern approach to philosophy and of education. So the idea of Eastern education approach is hard work, and Melania is definitely going to demonstrate how hard she worked both at Cardiff Sixth Form College and is currently working now at London School of Economics. But most importantly, we combine this with the Western approach to critical thinking, to being creative, and most importantly, being proactive. So if anything, the underlying point, which is the unique message both from Melania and from me to all of our guests today, who I understand joined us from Azerbaijan, from Turkey, also from Albania, perhaps, to all of these students, we want to make it very clear that the philosophy of education, which is hard work together with creativity and your passion, is going to actually make it possible to you achieve any of the dreams that you might have. So apart from Cambridge and Oxford universities, students can proceed to LSE, St Andrews, Imperial, Durham, and any top university in the UK and the world. So my contact details are going to be also available at the end of our event. I will be very happy to stay in touch. I would also encourage you to have a look at the social media that we have. And this is going to be just hopefully the very first step of your journey of discovering how you can build your strategy and get into the most successful universities in the world. At this stage, I'm going to stop and I'm going to introduce Melania. Melania, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
I'm just going to make you a host if you give me a moment. So you should be able to hopefully allow a couple of people in from the waiting room before you start.
Oh, wait, 1 second. I don't think there's anyone in the waiting room.
Fantastic. In
So
this
I'll
case,
just
we can start.
Okay. Let me share my presentation. So, hi everyone. My name is Melania Kovalenko, and as Natalia mentioned, I'm now in London currently during the coronavirus, and I'm studying at LSE, which is London School of Economics and Political Science, and previously I've been a student at Cardiff Sixth Form College, and today I'll be delighted to talk to you about my story, how am I where I am right now, and actually about my path to success, maybe some of my rules and tips, whether you're a student or you want to be a student or if you're a parent. I guess my presentation will be useful for you today. So let's start by actually asking a question: why would you want to go to LSE? Obviously, everyone probably knows that British universities are one of the top universities in the world, but many people underestimate it compared to the universities in the US, for example. But if you look at the graph on the right corner, on the bottom, so you can see that London School of Economics is actually number 5 in the world for economics and econometrics after Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and Uni of California. It's even better than Yale, it's even better than Oxford or Cambridge. So LSE is actually a great university, and it's quite modern, which is actually really different from other USA universities or Oxbridge and Oxbridge. So this year, LSE is one of the greatest universities to be in. According to the ratings, actually it's top 10 for economics in the world and number 1 in Europe, but not only for economics, it's also social sciences, mathematics, wherever you want except sciences, because it's mostly politics and economics. So why would I personally choose to go to university? First of all, everyone wants to have a comfortable living, right? Even when you are doing something you actually enjoy, you still want to earn great money for that. So if you look at the top corner on the right, right, it's the graph produced by BBC, and you can see that London School of Economics graduates, 5 years after graduation, they earn the biggest salary in the UK, even bigger than Cambridge or Oxford, when studying economics. So this is one of the reasons, but obviously it's not only about that. If you're passionate and you want to go to LSE, first of all, it's opportunities you actually get there. We have great careers department, which will help you to get the best work experience you can ever think of, but I'll talk about my work experience a bit later. Also, the teachers, they're not only professionals, they're not only people who actually got PhDs from the top universities in the world. Some of them are actually Nobel Prize for economics, and I'm delighted to tell you that I met, I think, 4 or 5 Nobel Prize winners, and it's actually great because not many of them are alive, unfortunately. So it's actually great to see them in my university, talk to them. They can sign you a book, take a picture with you, and you can discuss anything. And obviously, these are the smartest people in the world. Apart from that, we also have guest lecturers. So it's people coming from all over the world. It's presidents. It's many other people who can come and just give you lectures. You can talk to them, ask questions. And last year, obviously, it was a bit different, but this year we're still continuing to do it online. And I met so many Nobel Prizes again. I met ex-presidents. I met the governors of Bank of England. And there are just so many guest lecturers which give you an insight to the world just outside of academics. Apart from that, we have a big student union. So for people who don't know, student union is like a charitable organization which is outside of university. So it supports students, it supports our well-being. It also has lots of societies, and you can find any society you like. And if you don't find anything, you can always create one. And I'm going to talk about societies a bit more because I'm the president of one of them. And obviously, it's a unique environment. LSE is really academic place, and everyone wants to study, everyone wants to achieve their dream. So you just don't have time to give up. You always want to go straight forward and just get what you want. So this is about why would I go to LSE. And so what happened to me this year at LSE, so currently I'm the second year student, and just to give you an overview of what happened with me during the first year. So I finished LSE last year with the first is the highest market university you can get. I became the president of the Russian Business and Culture Society. So I actually run a team of around 30 people, and we organize lots of talks, workshops, and every year we organize Russian Business Week, which invites fantastic speakers ranging from ex-presidents of Russia, economists like Sergei Guriev. And previously I was a marketing manager there, and it's an amazing opportunity as well because you gain some soft skills which you also need for the work, but I'll talk about this as well a bit later. So after that, I also became a debate mentor. So I was volunteering to work with children who don't have enough funds at their school. So I was teaching them how to debate. And it was also an amazing experience because it just gives you an insight of how some lives are built and how you can actually impact someone's life. And because my actual goal is to do economics and impact inequality, so it was for me an experience where you can see the inequality from the inside. Apart from that, I also was an intern last year at UBS and Barclays. So these are top 2 European banks. And actually, Barclays gave me an offer for this year's summer internship. And hopefully after that, they can make me a proper worker on the graduate scheme. So also, I was doing a lot of things around the university. So I was a rep for economics department. I was accommodation well-being officer. This summer, I was an aspiring interns mentor. So I was helping incoming students to LSE to actually gain an experience with writing CVs, cover letters, how to get into interview and how to perform good in the interview, and lots of other things which help you to get work experience. And recently, I became lead Gen Z advisor and the UK representative at Core. Core is quite a good startup in financial industry. So it's like a combination of Robinhood and TikTok. And it's just also an amazing opportunity where you can learn not only the modern world, you can also dig into finance and just get your first money. So this is what happened to me this year. So how it all started, I actually studied in Moscow. So I spent 9 years in Moscow. It was actually a normal state school, nothing special. And I was doing normal exams, which everyone does, and I got all the highest marks to them. But then I decided that it's not enough for me. I was also at music school, so parallel to my state school, I was at the music school because I wanted to gain some different experience, and I also finished the red diploma. So I was pretty happy having a red diploma from state school, red diploma from music school, but I decided that's not enough for me. I can do more than that. So I decided to GCSE. GCSE is like pre-A-level stage. So I went to Cyprus and I did them actually, instead of 2-year program, I did them in 1 year. So I was self-teaching myself. It was an amazing experience as well because I had to do everything myself. I had to Google lots of things, buy textbooks, and realize how to do the exams myself. And after that, I applied to Cardiff Sixth Form College, where probably my career path properly started. So that's when I realized that I love numbers. Maybe economics is a bit of humanities for many, but for me, it's from a mathematical point of view more. And LSE is really maths-based university as well. So I actually found my passion in mathematics, but also in solving great global issues. So I read a book about the inequality of Joseph Stiglitz, and I realized, wow, that's something I want to do. So we found Cardiff Sixth Form College. I applied. I somehow got in, and I was at the first I was really happy, but then everyone is going to be smart there. So I realized I'm going to have lots of competition. But I guess this competition is what actually drives you and what actually makes you a better version of yourself. So after Cardiff Sixth Form College, I had the chance to do my exams, A-levels, and apply to London School of Economics, and I got in for BSc Economics, and the admission rate for BSc Economics is around 14% or 9%, so it was a great achievement for me as well. So my A-level results, you can see here. So you actually have to do like 3 subjects, but I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 subjects because EPQ is dissertation, and I got 90% above for all of them. And on the right, you can actually see a few pictures from Cardiff Sixth Form College live. This is what I achieved. And now here are some tips, which are actually how to achieve results like this. So first of all, it was really, really tough for me in the beginning because you come into an environment where everyone is working, where everyone is almost genius, and where everyone wants to do their best. And I used to be in a school where I was the best and I was comfortable with it. But then I came into Cardiff Sixth Form College and I see all these hardworking students and I want to work harder. And I see this inspired teachers who want to teach you things and who actually believe in you. And first of all, I was really, really demotivated, but then teachers, they actually helped me. They told me, yes, you can do that. You can do whatever you want to do. So they actually helped me to pick subjects. They helped me in careers, and they were always supporting me. And I think this support, which actually really, really helped me to be someone I am right now. So my first top tip is, although subject choice is important, it's never too late to change your career path. So I know a few people who came into Cardiff Sixth Form College and they wanted to do medicine. And then the second year they realized, now I'm an economist. I found my passion in the economics. And many, many people think, oh, that's too late. I'll just continue going for medicine. But that's not true. If you have a passion for something, you can always change your path and do what you like. So I know a student who was doing everything for medicine, and then on the second year, he took 2 additional subjects of maths and economics because he really liked it and he wanted to do it in the future. So this is something you can absolutely do if you have enough passion and enough strength to go through this together. So second of all, I wanted to mention that employers, they always love well-rounded personalities. So they don't like people who are only about numbers, or they don't like people who can only write essays. So it's better to have the both of best worlds. What I did some humanities, I did some math. So I think this really helped me to be someone who can do well in the university, because in the university you're faced with all kinds of situations and you have to be prepared for them. So third thing, I think this is something what many people are missing, is written around the subject. So it's not only about textbooks you need to read. It's not only about news or articles. It's also about normal academic books. So I started reading when I was in Cardiff Sixth Form College, because that's when I realized which sphere I like the most in economics. So I was reading lots of books around the subject. And this actually, first of all, it helps you to understand which area of a subject you like the most. Second of all, it helps you to learn more, because usually it's unfamiliar terms they are using in the books. Third of all, it makes you so prepared for university. Some books I read at Cardiff Sixth Form College, they're actually using them right now to teach me something in university. So this is something really important. And also maybe you'll read a book and then you'll realize, oh my God, this is not something for me. And now we come to the to number one, where you can change your subject. So next one, learning by heart is not an option. So what I mean by this is that many students, they think, oh, I'll just learn how to do it and it will be fine. Yes, they do that, but then they realize they can't get the top marks. Why is that? Once again, they don't have an ability to apply. And I think Cardiff was really important in terms of teaching students how to do that, because we had some subjects for critical thinking, university admissions preparations, where they help you to think out of the box. So I think the application is really important when it comes to actually being successful in what you study. So next one is, if you want to work hard, you can never avoid stress, because you always think you don't have enough time. You always think you don't have enough knowledge. Sometimes you'll think you're not good enough. Sometimes you'll have failures. Failures are normal, but sometimes you don't know how to deal with them. So this is what I learned, or I keep learning, is to ask for support and actually ask for help. There are always people at schools in Britain who will help you. There are many counselors who will talk to you about your problems, whether you have stress, depression, wherever, they can always talk to you. Similar in university, you can always have a support if something is wrong. And last year I made a mistake because I thought that my questions are stupid. I felt that if I ask this question, they'll think I'm dumb for LSE, or they'll think that I'm not strong enough. And you're strong if you ask for support. You're strong if you're not afraid to tell them that something is going wrong. Weak people are those who cannot actually let other people know that something is wrong, and they just struggle and they can't go forward with it. So I think asking for support is really important. And finally is trying to find the best way of learning. So different people, they have different preferences for learning. For me, for example, it's diagrams, colors, different analogies. I think it's really important to understand what's the best way of learning for you. So next one is societies and clubs. So usually schools or universities, they have societies and clubs, and I'm going to talk about Cardiff Sixth Form College. So what societies actually do, first of all, they help you relax from academics. Second of all, they help you explore yourself and your interests, hobbies outside of academics. So my first passion became debating. And this is the best way to improve your soft skills, but I'll talk about debating more because this is something I'm really passionate about. And for debating, I actually had a chance to be a European Youth Parliament finalist. I was debate coach, I was debating mentor, and last year I was London's Open finalist. Next one is Glee. So I was a part of Glee. Glee is like kind of theater, performance, musical. So you can see on the right, you can see a picture. Maybe I'm not looking that pretty there, but yes. Glee was really fun, and it was a really good way of relaxing after a hard day at Cardiff Sixth Form College. Between learning, you can go, you meet your friends, you do some performance, you sing, you dance. It was really fun. But I also didn't forget about academics, and we had economic society, and it helped me to actually learn more about the current affairs, something which is happening in the world right now, because in textbooks, they're usually too late to tell you something. But here you always learn what's happening around the world, and you just do different competitions. So now into debating. So on the right, you can see European Youth Parliament. So debating is basically, first of all, you cannot choose a side and you cannot choose a topic. So This is really important to have a great critical thinking because you need to think on your feet. Sometimes you can get an unfamiliar topic completely. It's also about learning, analyzing, and evaluating, because you have to listen to other people. You have to evaluate the arguments. You have to repeat the arguments. It's also great for general knowledge, because sometimes topics, they can be from some country monarchy ranging to biology, and then you go back to politics. So you have to be everywhere, kind of. And most important probably is public speaking. I don't know if you can see from me talking right now, but I probably improved in my public speaking. It helps you to form the arguments, to have a specific structure. It helps you to be engaging. It helps you to pursue the speaker. And it's really important when it comes to interviews. These days, I'm not preparing myself for interviews. Like, I remember when my friends usually ask me like, oh, do you also prepare for interviews a week before the interview? I say, no, I don't prepare, because I can think on my feet. I have general knowledge. I have persuasive abilities, and I just go into interview. Even right now, I didn't prepare any of my speech. I'm just speaking. So this is really important when you go into debating. You can just speak and you don't have to prepare. You don't have to think. You just do what you know is right. So this is about debating, and I always tell everyone, do debating, because this is something which will be with you the whole life. And obviously to improve my English, never forget about that. So what did I actually achieve at CSFC? I told you what I achieved at LSE, so let's talk a bit more into the past. So as I already said, I had a massive debating experience. They also taught me to write dissertations and conducting experiments, especially when I was doing psychology. And my dissertation was on sugar tax, and I actually went myself and did a survey among students, and it was really amazing. I was feeling like a professor who was doing a big investigation in the university. Apart from that, I had Barclays work experience. You already heard about me in Barclays, but my actual Barclays path started at Cardiff Sixth Form College. At this point, I didn't realize how great it was, but it allowed me work shadowing, and I was going there every morning from 9 to 5. I was working at Barclays. I was doing different tasks at different places. And it was really amazing because it was 1 week experience. It's not too long to get tired of it, but also it's long enough to gain some initial knowledge. And it's probably when I realized that I like banking. So I want to thank CSFC for giving me this opportunity, but also they gave me an opportunity. They also gave me an opportunity to volunteer. So I was volunteering at Cardiff Marathon, but not only. We had many field trips for geography. We even went to this beach, which was in Harry Potter, and it was quite fun. Also, I was a prefect at Cardiff Sixth Form College. If you don't know, prefect is like a student body, which is like communication between staff and students. And it's quite prestigious at Cardiff Sixth Form College to be a prefect. So there was a long election process, interviews. You had to give a speech. You had to vote. So yeah, I was a prefect, and it was an amazing experience as well. Apart from that, I was doing many things like class rep, accommodation rep, and I did senior maths challenge, and I got silver for that. So as you can see, I like taking opportunities, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So developing knowledge and expertise. So what I actually do and want to share with you to be successful and knowledgeable in the area I'm interested in. So first of all, it's fiction and non-fiction in literature. Why is it's clear why is it important to read non-fiction literature, because it gives you an ability to know more around the subjects. But fiction literature is actually really important as well, because in fiction literature you can imagine stuff, you can think, you read, you recreate the characters. It actually helps your brain to work. And this is the best gymnastics for the brain, is just to read fiction books, imagine things inside the brain. This is different from watching series or movies. This is just something you're recreating in your brain. Apart from that, I watch lots of interviews and public talks. So with professionals, you can always find them on YouTube. And this is free, absolutely, but it gives you an invaluable knowledge as well. Apart from that, there are also TED Talks, and I'm aware many of you might know it. It's also on YouTube. It's available, and it's short videos, like 15 minutes, when they talk about like different issues in different areas. Also, always learn your language, because especially when you want to be an expert in something, you'll always have some terms which are really specific to the language, and it's really hard, for example, to know some economic terms because they're going to be different in your language and in English. So that's why, bringing back to the point why it's important to read literature in this language. So I read always in English if it's nonfiction. Also, read news and articles. I have a rule of, I think I spend 15 minutes a day reading news, I mean financial news. So I go on FT, BBC, Wall Street Journal, and I spend 15 minutes only reading this news. It's at least 15 minutes, but I always have them in my timetable every day. And finally, it's also papers, I mean, written by PhD students, by professors, maybe Nobel Prizes. They're going to be really, really hard to read in the beginning, but trust me, with time, you'll get used to it. And finally, online courses and workshops. I did lots of courses on Coursera and edX. They're usually free. You can learn anything you want there. Actually, I was learning at Cardiff Sixth Form College. I was learning Chinese transformation of economy, and I was learning about global recession. This year, I'm doing Python because I started programming. Yes, so women in programming, so welcome. And yeah, this is what I do for developing my knowledge. So now my first advice to you is to believe in yourself, because I think everything is important. And I remember there were points in my life when I thought, oh my God, no, I can't do that. But then it's not about people who, there's nothing you can't do. There are people who think they can't do, but they can. And there are people who think they can't do, but they try. So this is about trying, this is about becoming a better version of yourself. And what you need to do is to take all the opportunities, and probably you can see from my experience that I actually do everything I see. And many people, they just are like, oh, if it's not a big offer, job offer where they pay me, I don't know, 2 million a year, then I'm not going to take it. No, take it even if it's free. Just for your experience. It's going to look fine on your CV. It's going to help you to earn experience, and it's also going to help you to develop some skills which you don't have yet. But it's important to not forget to rest, because if you don't rest your brain is going to work more slowly, and it's going to be developing into big stressful period. Sometimes I was really not conscious, and I forgot to rest. And at some point I just realized I can't do this anymore. So I needed to rest for 1 week doing nothing. But it's more important to have gradual rest and gradual work, so you can combine them together and be always on top of your game. Also, it's important to start thinking about your future early. I understand that it's really hard, but maybe just consider a few options and just go around the subjects to understand what you like the most. Go get some experience, go talk to the professionals. Everything is available on LinkedIn right now, for example. You can talk to anyone. So going back to the point, not to forget to rest, it's about controlling stress, taking advice, talking to people. Also, don't forget that education is not only about school. Yes, it can guide you, it guided me, but it will never do everything for yourself. You have to have a passion inside you. You also have to be an ambitious person, and you have to be a person who never gives up. So success is not about your knowledge, it's about your mindset. It's about how you think, it's not about how much you know. So Winston Churchill once said, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. So you have to think of every difficulty, every failure is just another opportunity for you to grow. My growth was not from my successes, my growth was from my failures. I wasn't always the best, I wasn't always the winner, sometimes I was the last, but it's about how you get up on your feet and you keep going straight forward. So passion should be your engine. So don't do anything if you don't want to. Do something you actually want to do, you enjoy, because this is something which will give you the biggest joy, which will help you to give the biggest impact in life, because this is something you're going to be actually interested in. Oh, sorry. So always ask yourself why you're doing this. If you're a parent, never tell your child, you have to do this, you have to do this. Listen to your child and listen to what they like and what they want to do. Because this is important to do something you really like, because you're going to be successful if you actually like it and you actually enjoy and you want to spend hours doing it. You want to spend hours going around the subject. Big wins need a million of small steps. Nothing happens just in 1 second. Things they need to develop, you need to take small steps into your success. You can see how many things I did in the past. And these are things which bring me to LSE, but this is not the end of my path. My big goal is far, far from now, and I need to make a big amount of steps until I achieve this. So, and finally, I wanted to say that failing is normal. It's about whether you can overcome it and keep on going. As I mentioned before, I failed many times. Usually people don't talk about their failures. That's why we think that we are failure. But this is not true. We usually learn from our failures rather than from our successes. And our failures is something which actually brings us up above others. If you can admit it, you can learn from it, and you can actually use it in your future. So on this note, I wanted to say thank you for listening. Believe in yourself. And here you can see a few pictures from me kind of achieving some of my dreams. So being in European Youth Parliament finals, in London's Open finals, a picture of me with ex-governor of Bank of England and Joseph Stiglitz, which is a Nobel Prize of Economics. So yes, I hope it was useful, and I'm open to questions.